In the forgotten corner of Harrow Creek, a rural speck in northern Missouri, the land lies heavy with secrets. Cornfields stretch under a bruised sky, cicadas hum, but locals shun the old Miller farm at town's edge. In October 2017, Clara Hensley, a city girl turned farmer, bought the crumbling homestead cheap, seeking a fresh start after a bitter divorce. The farmhouse sagged, paint peeling like dead skin, but Clara saw potential. Room for crops, a new life. Townsfolk whispered warnings, that place ain't right. Clara, 32 and practical, dismissed them as superstition. With her mutt, rusty, and DIY manuals, she cleared weeds, patched the porch, ignoring nightly creaks. On the seventh day, a burlap sack appeared on her doorstep, tied with twine. Inside, a corn-husk doll with button eyes, stitched mouth. "Kid's prank," she muttered, tossing it. That night, Rusty growled at the dark. Clara woke to whispers. A guttural hum, like voices trapped in wind. Windows showed fields under a sickle moon. The doll reappeared, stitches unraveled into a jagged grin. Clara burned it, smoke acrid, curling like fingers. Rusty whined, refusing to leave. Tracks appeared, barefoot, too large, circling the barn. At the general store, townsfolk spoke of the hollow, a barren wood behind the farm. "The Millers left for a reason," Mrs. Tate hissed. "Something lives there." Clara scoffed, but whispers grew, chanting, "Clara, come see?" Rusty barked as windows rattled without wind. Clara grabbed a flashlight and shotgun, determined to end it. The hollow, a mile out, was a gash where skeletal trees clawed the sky. Air felt thick, like breathing syrup. Her flashlight flickered, catching a too tall, too thin figure between trunks. "Clara, closer." Her ex-husband's voice warped backward. Rusty bolted, vanishing. She found him by a stone well, trembling, the doll remade with buttons like wet teeth. The ground pulsed, warm, alive. Shadows moved, cornhusk and bone figures, blank faces watching. "Stay," they hissed, voices layering her ex's, her mother's, her own. The well droned, shaking her bones. Clara fired, the blast swallowed. Figures glided closer. She ran, thorns tearing her jeans, whispers chasing. "You're ours." The farmhouse offered no refuge. The doll sat on the kitchen table, mouth restitched, stuffed with dirt. Rusty cowered, fur streaked with decay-scented mud. Clara barricaded the door, but roots burst through floorboards, coiling like veins. Walls groaned, windows fogging with breath not hers. Carvings appeared on beams, spirals, eyes, her name, etched deep as if by claws. The air chilled, whispers now a chorus. "Join the hollow." In the barn, Clara found journals under dusty hay. Miller scrawls from the 1800s, warning of a debt to the earth. Pages spoke of blood offerings, names carved to bind souls. Her flashlight died. The doll reappeared, clutched by a shadow with her mother's eyeless face. Clara screamed, roots writhing like worms, pulling her down. She clawed free, heart pounding, and stumbled to the attic, finding a locked trunk. Inside, faded photos of Miller kin, eyes scratched out, and a child's drawing of the well, figures circling, labeled the keepers. The whispers roared, "You owe us." The house shook, floorboards splitting, roots curling toward her. Rusty's barks turned whimpers, his collar snagged by a tendril. Clara hacked it free with an axe, but the roots bled sap like blood, staining her hands. The doll appeared again, with her own face stitched in thread, mouth open, whispering her voice. She burned it in the fireplace, flames spitting shadows that danced, forming faces of the lost. The air grew denser, heavy with the scent of rotten sap, as if the house exhaled the hollow's hunger. Clara found a hidden cellar door, rusted shut, but it pulsed like a heartbeat. She pried it open, revealing a dirt chamber where roots formed a cage, clutching bones, human, brittle, tangled with husks. Her name was scratched into the wall, fresh, beside others, some still wet with sap. Clara's locket, her mother's, burned her skin, the clasp snapping open to reveal a tiny husk doll inside, its eyes her own. The whispers laughed, a cacophony of voices, her family, her past, her fears. She fled the cellar, the house groaning as if alive, windows cracking under unseen hands. The cornfields outside swayed, their stalks bending toward her, whispering her name in unison. At dawn, Clara fled to town, pounding on the sheriff's door. He drove her back, face grim. The farmhouse was silent, doll gone, well empty, but tracks circled tighter at her doorstep. "Leave," he said. "The hollow, don't let go." Clara sold the farm at a loss, never returning. The buyer vanished a month later, his truck idling by the well. Harrow Creek keeps its silence. The Miller farm stands empty, cornfields swaying as if watching. Locals avoid the hollow, where whispers call in voices long dead. Step too close, and the earth claims you, weaving your story into its roots forever, part of the hungry dark.